Hi, and welcome to the Nerdery. My name is Todd, and today we're going to talk about Scratch. Now, Scratch is a programming environment that you can access at scratch.mit.edu. If you go there, you can sign up for an account, and then you can start creating, you can start remixing, and you can start viewing other people's creations. So what is Scratch exactly? Well, it's essentially a programming environment that uses puzzle pieces that link together to create loops and to create if-then statements and other conditional statements. You can add variables, you can add art, you can add all sorts of things, and so essentially you can create animations, games, or other applications. So we're going to take a look at a few things with it, just to kind of give you a tour of how Scratch works and what type of things you can do with it. The first thing that you're going to see right now is I have something pulled up that I created. And in the left-hand side, you'll see the window where you can actually play the little game I created. And below that, you'll see something that says stage, and then 3 sprites. So sprites are anything that has action or movement on the screen. They're little images that interact with each other. The stage is kind of the backdrop. In this case, it's just a picture. It doesn't do anything. It's just there to give some type of element of interest to the image. So if I click on each one of the different sprites, you'll see my puzzle pieces that are linked together to give if-then statements to allow control or to allow an action that's done. For instance, this one has a sound effect that's done, some music that's played. It also has, if I hit left arrow or right arrow, it changes the location of the spaceship so that I can move back and forth. The second one is lightning. So when I hit the space bar, it creates a clone of the lightning and shoots the lightning up at the butterflies so they can hit the butterflies and destroy them. I don't know why I don't like butterflies. And then the third one is the butterfly itself that is set to keep on spawning every so often so that I have something to kill. Now in this case I have a couple variables as well, a score and a level, and that score will change as butterflies are killed and the level will increase when the score hits a certain point. So just to show you how it works, if I click this green button up here, the sound starts. You can see my ship moving back and forth, and here's the first butterfly. So I hit the space bar to shoot my lightning bolt, and I then hit the butterfly. Now I can keep on playing, and it gets harder as progressively more butterflies get into the screen. But as you can see, that's simply how it works. So I created this by using these puzzle pieces from the different motion, look, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, and more blocks that allow you to create all of these things. Now this was a simple one, and just to show you a couple other examples of what you can create, we got Mario Brothers here that someone else created, and it plays very similar to the original game, except doesn't quite scroll right, but someone created this, and it allows you to play the game. Now if I was to click the See Inside button, it would bring up this window, which allows me to see the code that someone else used to create this game. As you can see, it's significantly more complicated than the one that I created, but that's okay. It's got a lot more information, and it took them a long time to make it, I'm sure. Now with any of these that you see, that you can find by searching on their website, you can click Remix. If Remix will save a copy of this project into your projects and allow you to edit it, which is one of the best ways to learn more about how people did things, is edit it and see what happens when you change a variable, or see what happens when you remove a loop, or anything like that. So just to give a couple more examples, that was a game. Over here we got a tool. This is essentially a calculator program that's going to allow us to do some math. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. What? 4 times 9 equals 36. What? Times 12 equals 432. So as you can see, it does the math, it does the calculator. It is a function. It's got some beautiful music playing in the background. Once again, if I click See Inside, it'll come up and show me what's making it work. So you got all sorts of things here that all work together to have the creation of the program or the app inside of Scratch. So this guy left a few notes for you as well. Sometimes people do that and it makes it more understandable, but otherwise you can just take a look at his code, see what he did to make the calculator work. And then one other thing, this is more of a tool. So at one point in time before I did this, this was a picture of a butterfly. You can upload your own picture and it turns it into essentially pixel art, which looks kind of cool. So people are creating all sorts of things with these programs. Some things are simple, some things are complex. You can create animations that tell stories, or you can create games. And as long as your child can read, they should be able to slowly figure it out with a little input from you, of course. But it's something that teaches them that computers follow their instructions that they put before them, and are able to work through those things. So it teaches them the basics of programming without using a programming language per se. But those if-then statements and those loops, those are all really important concepts that they need to get down if they want to move on to something like Python or C. So one last thing that I just really liked is this. It is a Star Trek game. And this is a really actually pretty complicated game that someone created with Scratch. It allows you to move your ship. It allows you to fire on enemies. It allows you to do all sorts of fun Star Trek things in a Star Trek world. Now, this one is incredibly complicated. I'm going to click see inside in just a moment once it's done traveling. Oh, got a lot of enemies. So I gotta... Oh no! They're killing me! I'm getting killed. Anyway, so inside this program, we see that it has a lot of sprites. That's a lot of sprites, and a lot of code on each sprite. So this probably isn't the one to really start with, but it can give you kind of an example of how complex things can be inside of Scratch. So in reality, you can search for what you like or what your child likes. Help them find a project that someone else has done once they've got the basics of how the loops work. Now, I created that earlier app that you saw when I was taking the course CS50 on EDX. It's a Harvard course that teaches the basics of programming and starts with Scratch the first week. I'm actually still taking that class because it's take at your own pace for free on EDX. So I would check that out. This has been The Nerdery. Thank you for watching. Check out Scratch at scratch.mit.edu and let me know what you think.